Oh, Common, you have got a new song for the movie Marshall called Stand Up for Something. It's written with Diane Warren and performed by you and Audra Day. Can you talk a little bit about first how you got involved with this project?
Well, I was on my way to Sundance, the film festival this year, and I ran into Diane Warren. We were waiting to get on the plane, and then we ended up sitting. I was sat directly behind her, so we were talking about different things, and she said, "Hey, I have this song that I started for the movie Marshall, and I think you would be great on it." I was already talking about you rapping on it, and she started singing me the song. She was like, "Oh man, I'm telling you, this song is like it's one of those songs like change is gonna come. It's for the movement. You would love it." And I was like, okay. And I mean, I was open to hearing it. I love Diane Warren, and I know how incredible she is. So I was like, yeah. But the singing, when she sang it, I couldn't tell all the way what it was. So she sent me the demo of it, and I can remember, man, I was getting my hair cut and I was listening to the song. I was like, wow, this is a powerful song, very powerful. And I just called her and told her I wanted to write on it, and she was like, yes, great. And from there we just I wrote my part, and she told me Andrew was coming in to sing it, and Andrew did a sketch vocal of it, or did a vocal of it, and I told Diane, we gotta just take it to the highest level. We all got to be at the highest level with this song, because I thought Diane had written such a beautiful song. So that's how I became a part of it. It was, and Thurgood Marshall was always somebody who I knew about in history. I learned about in Black history, and learned about as one of our heroes, who was a person of color, because he was the first Supreme Court justice that was Black. So I always knew his story, and so I just wrote it for him in the film, and just for humanity.
It is a really powerful song. I wonder if you could talk a bit about, as a songwriter yourself, um, what about it, the lyrics, the music, what about it really spoke to you and made it powerful for you?
Well, I think it's something about like melody and notes that writers choose, that really, what Diane chose as far as the melody was really resonating with me. It was coming from a heartfelt place, a spirit place, that that when I see a great film or hear some incredible music, or see a incredible photo or a piece of art, it just, like, it touches me in a place that is not really a place you can like put a mathematic number to, or try to define it in so many ways. It was just a feeling. But I think, what I believe it to be was the melody she chose, and the spirit that she was writing it from. Her inspirations, she told me she sat and listened to Change Is Gonna Come and People Get Ready for like back to back. And I think she got into that spirit of also just seeing what was going on in our world. And when you write from a truthful place, like the way the note she chose, and the melody was just so like heart, that it struck me. But then, I really listened to the words, and was like, it's really powerful, and not easy to write simple lyrics that resonate, and like don't sound preachy, and don't sound like what we've heard before. And like, for her to say like, um you can have you do the best that you can do, and you can look in the mirror proud of who's looking back at you. That's really simple, but it hit my heart, because like I said, she chose the right notes, and with that simplicity of lyrics, it felt like it was a letter to the world that we could do better. And that's what I wanted to be a part of.
Mhm. So talk a bit about writing your contribution to it. What was the process like? How many different kind of
Yeah.
drafts did you go through?
Yeah. Okay. So, my process, Zach, is like, I sit with the music, and kind of just get into that space where I feel like I'm very clear and open, and not even like, I feel like it's a divine place to be in when I write. That's what that's what I strive to be in. And I just really was listening to the music and getting inspired and listening to what she had written. And I just kept sitting with the beat, with the instrumental. And I was trying out different flows, like this, you know, different rhythms to it. And I had different ideas. And then I think this was what I started, what you hear on the record is, and for the movie is like, it's probably my third idea as far as, cause I'll mumble some things and, you know, and so, but one thing I did do too was like, I started I started reading the Bible. But I read the Bible. I wanted to, I wanted this to be like, if I had a speech that I was saying to the world, that this would be part of it. This would be like, I wanted it to have the spiritual tones and the reverence that I have for people and for Thurgood Marshall. So like, by the time I got to that third way, I actually started, you know, saying, you know, rise up, love, lift your hands. I stand with you because I understand. Like I just started thinking about like, what would I say to humanity and people that are going through different situations, that are going through the struggle of all different backgrounds, whether it's what women have gone through, what Muslim brothers and sisters go through, what Latino brothers and sisters go through, what Jewish brothers and sisters go through, Black people and Black and brown Black people what we go through. Like I just felt like I wanted to reach into that humanity and write into where it touches the inside of any human being, and no matter what they declare themselves to be, they would let the love resonate over all that.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the performance of it, the recording process of it. I wonder if you could talk a bit more about that and working with Andra Day. I mean, how do you know you've got it? You know?
Okay, I felt like when I heard the demo of this song was it. Like I was like, this is a it song. Like certain songs strike me at a level where I feel like this is something special. This is greater than us. Like this is bigger than Diane Warren. It's bigger than Andra Day. It's bigger than Common. It's bigger than us. And I just felt that when I heard the song like itself, right? But my recording process is, so I like, you know, I do all my like rituals before I go in the booth and everything. And then I like recording with my engineer, Mike, who I love. And, you know, I've been recording at this studio that I really love. So I had the music. I went in the booth. I laid it a few times. It felt pretty good, but I know when it could be better, and I knew it could be better. And I wanted to make sure the enunciation was there. I wanted to make sure that the cadence was in the rhythm where it had a great pocket, and it was still had that. I like sitting back in the music sometimes, and it had that, but it still, you know, you still could stay bouncing to the music. And so you know, the take that we have is the last take that I did. It's the last take, and it was like I probably recorded about 6 other takes, you know, because it's a short verse. So I recorded 6 other takes, and I was like, I can do better. And when you know you have it when you listen, and it's a feeling that's created, because you want people to hear the song, and it creates an emotion for them, and everybody can't define emotion. So I can never probably tell you technically why I like something, but I know why it feels right to me, and it touches a place inside of me. So I knew I had that take, but then going to record with Andra, it was like I said, she had recorded before, and Diane called me and sent me the song and was like, "Yo, check it out, Andra, she killed it." And I was like, "Man, she did a good job, but it could be better." I didn't have that feeling that I knew that we can capture with this song. Like what that song gave me when I first heard it, I needed it to be greater than that, the feeling. So we went back in the studio, and this studio recording session was at Diane's place, and it was really good because we had a real talk. Like me and Andrea and Diane and some of our friends was there, some of the people we work with, and it was just like a real bonding. And that bonding session kind of translated to us going in the studio, like communicating in the most pure and honest way and making sure we got the best out of it. And Andrea, when you could hear when she was recording, she was in that spirit of it. And it was like, oh, I loved it. And we all felt it. It was times where I didn't have to even look at Diane and then we was like, yes, or we all were making noise like, ooh, ah, like it's just, whoo, like, whoo, when you got it, you sometimes you're like, whoo, and so that's what we felt as when Andrea recorded it, and I think she knew that she had elevated the song because I look at it more when you have a songwriter that writes a song, it takes time for you to get that song and make it yours and make it like you created it in a way, like y'all connected, you and the songwriter just connected, and it just becomes your song. And I think Andrea was able to capture that at that point.
In recent years, you've provided music for movies like Marshall and 13th and Selma with Ava DuVernay. These are movies that have a really strong message of social justice and relevance. I mean, obviously, this is about Thurgood Marshall. Selma was about Martin Luther King Jr. 13th was about our screwed up criminal justice system. What draws you to these films and makes you want to provide your music for them?
Well, purpose. I believe these films have purpose. These films are not only there to give us creative entertainment, but it also is there to like spark something inside of us. It's also there to not preach, not tell you what to do, but to hopefully have you reflect on what we can do or who you are and what we want to accomplish and what can we do to make the world better. Selma had that element to it. It did it for my life just as a human being. 13th was informed me in so many ways, and also I've been inspired to help correct our criminal justice system and this prison epidemic that's going on. And Thurgood Marshall has been a leader in humanity and teaching human beings about justice and living towards it and willing to sacrifice, as well as Dr. King was willing to sacrifice. So like I'm inspired by these people, the individuals. I'm also inspired by the people who are being overlooked, the people where injustices are. I want to write and I want to be active in changing the situations. I feel a responsibility to speak and be a voice for those who are not heard sometimes. And I'm in connection with a lot of people. I connect with the people. So I feel like it's my duty to be a voice for that. So I love when somebody's making a film that has that type of resonance and substance to it. So, it all goes back to purpose, Zach. It's like, it's a purpose in it. And I want my life to be purposeful. I always, as a kid, was like, man, my heroes is Michael Jackson, Muhammad Ali, Dr. King, Dr. Maya Angelou and James Baldwin. Like, these are heroes of mine, people that I look up to. My mother, all these people like have did something not just for themselves, but were willing to do for others and use their gifts to enlighten and inspire others. And that's what I strive for with this, and to be a part of, to be able to connect songs to those films. It just gives it a bigger platform to be heard and to move people. It gives people a visual to take and the music to take with it.
Last time that we talked, it was right before you won an Emmy for 13th to go along with the Oscar you've got for Selma and your 3 Grammys. What has that recognition meant for you? And I'll ask you again, when are you going to Broadway to get that Tony?
Well, look, first of all, the recognition is incredible. As far as I feel grateful to be recognized. I'm an artist and I love creating, and I put my heart and soul in everything that I do. And for people in the art world, and in the film world, the musicians, the television world, to recognize it and say this is important, it makes me not only feel good, but I feel like grateful and thankful, and I thank God for that. And it makes me also feel like I got more work to do. When I get this opportunity, when I hold that statue, when I hold a statue, it's automatically a sign for me that I have to do more. I owe it to everybody that I'm up there representing, and people that don't even know me, to go do more. So those, put it this way, I'm very, very happy to have received the Emmy, an Oscar, and the Grammy Awards, and it just makes me want to do more. And it's nice. Mother is looking like, whoa, son, I never knew you would get to this. It's like, whoa, and the whole family is celebrating and wanting to touch the Oscar. It's like an incredible feeling. So to answer your question about Broadway, I've been passionate about Broadway and theater really since I was a kid, theater. And since I first got to see plays in Broadway, I always wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to first know Broadway will help, but I didn't want to be, on Broadway trying to, just go up there with a name. I want to be the actor and do the work and be at that level. So to answer your question, I really am looking forward to doing some theater, whether it's obviously me as an actor, also as a writer. I would love to write, and combine on something that would be great for Broadway. And man, I'm just passionate about it. I love going to plays, and obviously I've loved everything from Cat on the Hot Tin Roof to what else? I really loved
Lots of
Hamilton, yeah, to everything. Like, but I loved a lot of plays. I've seen it was one that Philip Seymour Hoffman was in. I really Death of a Salesman. It was
yes, yeah.
incredible. So, I'm looking forward to that. Ever since I've been studied acting, my coaches we worked through different plays, Sam Shepard plays, and it's just been inspiring. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you. God willing, I'll be on Broadway doing theater and writing too.
Well, I want some tickets to that.
You got it. You got it, bro. You spoke it. You spoke it and said, yo, you should do it. So you definitely get tickets.
Well, thank you. Common, thank you so much. Congratulations on the movie. Pleasure talking with you again.
Thank you, Zach. Blessings. Happy holidays, man.
Happy holidays to you as well. Thank you.